In this lecture, I'll give you an overview of NetApp's public cloud storage offerings. That's Cloud Volumes ONTAP, NetApp Private Storage, and Cloud Volumes Services. As I said in the short intro there, NetApp has got 3 public cloud storage offerings, meaning this is storage from NetApp that runs in the public cloud environment. The 3 offerings are Cloud Volumes ONTAP and NetApp Private Storage. Now, I covered those in the last lecture because they run ONTAP, so that was included in the ONTAP portfolio lecture. I'm going to give you a very brief summary of where they fit in again here in this lecture as well, because I wanted to have a lecture that covers all the different public cloud offerings. The new one that we haven't covered yet is Cloud Volume Services, and we'll also cover that here. So all 3 of those overcome the limitations of the public cloud provider's native storage options. We covered those in the last lecture too, but I'll give you a quick review of those on the next slide. The 3 options fulfill different use cases. There is some overlap between the use cases as well, but normally there will be one which is going to be a clear winner. So those limitations that we had in the public cloud, they've got basic snapshots and cloning, where a snapshot basically takes a full copy, so you're paying for all that additional space. There's no guarantees of how quick restores are going to be completed. You've got no sharing of block storage if you need that. The file storage supports unlimited protocols. There's no deduplication, no simple way to replicate data into or out of the cloud or between the different public cloud providers, and they don't support antivirus scanning. So the 3 options from NetApp can fulfill all of those requirements if you have them. First one that we covered in that last lecture was Cloud Volumes ONTAP. It's full-featured ONTAP software, which runs on an AWS or Azure instance, and that is backed by EBS on Amazon and Azure Block Storage on Azure. That supports all the different protocols, CIFS, NFS, and iSCSI, and the performance and capacity depends on the instance that you get from the cloud provider and the license that you get from NetApp, and obviously the amount of capacity of storage that you get from the cloud provider as well. Use cases for Cloud Volumes ONTAP: disaster recovery in the cloud, for moving existing applications to the cloud without re-architecting, because it supports all the different protocols, test dev for fast provisioning and cloning, and VMware Cloud on AWS. With Cloud Volumes ONTAP, it is ONTAP, so you get the full ONTAP feature set. NetApp Private Storage, this is where you have an ONTAP hardware system, FAS or AFF, which is running in an Equinix data center, which is adjacent to the public cloud providers. So you get very, very fast access between your storage and your instances in the public cloud. It supports direct connectivity to AWS, Azure, and IBM software. And again, it is ONTAP, so you've got the full ONTAP feature set there. Because it's running on your own hardware platform, you've got complete control of that platform. So that can help with your privacy, regulatory, and sovereignty requirements. Other use cases, it's running on hardware dedicated, so you get high performance for your cloud workloads. It supports cloud-based disaster recovery. We had that with our Cloud ONTAP as well, and also VMware Cloud on AWS. So you can see there is some overlap between the use cases. So those were the 2 that we covered already. The last option for running NetApp storage inside the public cloud provider is Cloud Volumes Services. This one is not ONTAP. So Cloud Volumes Services is a simple to manage file service solution. So the first 2, they run ONTAP. There's a good thing and a bad thing with that. Because ONTAP is NetApp's full-featured operating system, it can be more complex to manage. If you want a simpler option, then Cloud Volume Services could be what you're looking for. It's supported on AWS, Google Cloud Platform. So with the first 2, the name is Cloud Volume Service. So you've got Cloud Volume Service for AWS and Cloud Volume Service for Google cloud platform. It's also supported on Azure. When it's running in Azure, it's a different name. It's Azure NetApp Files. And with Azure, it supports NFS only, unlike on AWS and Google, where it supports both NFS and SMB. So with those first two, so a limitation on public cloud is AWS EFS, which is AWS's native file service. It supports NFS v4 only, so limited application support. Azure is SMB only, the same problem again. Cloud Volume Services supports NFS v3, NFS v4, and SMB with the first two options, so full NAS protocol support. Again, just to highlight again, Cloud Volume Service is a file solution. It does not support block storage. It doesn't support iSCSI. It is NFS and SMB. And again, it's not ONTAP. This is a more simple solution. It's a lot more simple to manage. So if you're a company and you don't have storage administrators who know how to administer ONTAP, this can be an easier option for you. It's very simple setup and management. When you do set it up, you just go through a very quick web-based GUI wizard. You choose the protocols that you want to support. So it can support NFS, SMB, or it can support both at the same time. You choose the capacity, the size you want your volume to be. You set the service level, which is the performance, the access security details, so the export policy and Active Directory controlling who can get access to that data, and you set the snapshot policy there as well. The performance service levels are standard, premium, and extreme. The difference is the amount of IOPS that is going to be provided with the service. The capacity can be anywhere from 1 gigabyte up to 100 terabytes. The service level and capacity can be changed on the fly as well. So your storage can already be running. You don't need to bring it down if you want to change the capacity or the performance. It supports encryption, snapshots, clones, and syncing as well. So again, it's NetApp encryption. So if you don't trust the public cloud provider, you're managing your own encryption. It supports fast snapshots and clones, so it's good for backup, also in a test and dev environment. And the syncing means that it's easy to move your data between on-premises and the cloud. So use cases for Cloud Volume Service is the same as the other two. They're all good for disaster recovery in the cloud. So if you've got your main data center and you want to have a disaster recovery solution, you can replicate your data to the public cloud. If you lose your main site, you can quickly get back up and running again. It supports all NAS protocols, unified storage. It also has deduplication, compression, encryption, and snapshots. You can move existing applications to the cloud without re-architecting because it's got the full protocol support. It's good for test dev because you've got the fast provisioning and cloning. And again, it's good for VMware Cloud on AWS. If you're using an NFS data store, again, it doesn't support iSCSI. Okay, so that was all of your different options for running NetApp storage in the public cloud provider. Thanks for watching. If you want to get hands-on practice with NetApp storage for free on your laptop, then you can download my free ebook, which you can see above my head right now. Also check out my NetApp Storage Complete course, which will teach you everything you could possibly want to know about ONTAP. Thanks.